Join us this episode as we fly back to Vietnam and show the progress of No Regrets 2. Take two, here we go, off to Vietnam again. She cannot get used to this. It's never going to happen again. Never, ever.
I've got my birthday coming up.
It's a once in a lifetime.
Birthday coming. He's checking out his menu.
I've got to say, this was the best choice of airline we've had.
Okay, I know. We can even get cocktails.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You can get
This is gold. It's going to be hard to move back further from the plane after this.
We've got cocktails, wine, or he can have a chocolate milk, hot milk.
Milo Frappuccino.
Welcome to Saigon. We're in Seawind factory. We're back on our boat, having a quick run through to see what's happened. There's the alarm. Lunchtime.
Right, now we've got silence, let's go.
Yeah. Our galley is just about in. The basic framework is actually in. It's going to be a bit of a change from our 1260 that I'm used to, which is been down in the hulls up to now. This is a really nice design layout. Everything's is close, easy to turn, to reach everything. We're going for a fiberglass top. We weren't sure whether to go with the Korean or the fiberglass, but we decided to just stick to the fiberglass. We had fiberglass on our 1260 and it lasted for 7 years and it always looked really good. So we thought we'd stick to what we know for this one here. But the only problem with the fiberglass tops, we'll have a smaller sink and even a smaller one next to it. If you go with the Korean, you can get the large one. It's give and take. It's something we've got to now get used to using. This will be our fridge, which is not installed yet, but it's a nice size.
So the attention to detail, even while it's in manufacture, they have protective covers to go over the fiberglass edging so that it doesn't get damaged, nicked or scratched. So very, very thoughtful. So what I can see from here, I can work out we've got our charger inverter here, so it's a 3,500 watt. The theory says it will run our dive compressor. We are hoping the theory is true, but we will find out in a couple of months' time. We've got dual solar controllers here, MPPT controllers, and then all the electrical wiring. So through here will be our battery bank. So we've opted for 3 230 amp hour batteries. So we've got 690 amp hour of lithium battery. So it's sufficient to run the air conditioner all night.
We have an ice box under our seat, so it's going to be nice. Let's see if I can get it up. It hasn't got hinges, but that's basically it. It's huge. So yeah, that's heavy.
So we have purchased the new Starlink Gen 3. We upgraded from the Gen 2 because the Gen 3 is only 4 centimetres thick, so just 1.5 inches thick basically. So we've run the cable to here, or Seawind have run it for us. However, we are hearing reports of someone running one of these in the front, under the fiberglass, and still getting great speed. So I can't believe that works, but I'm going to have to give it a try, because if we can mount it under the roof, under the front, no one will ever see it's there. Makes it easy for cruising, no issues in countries where there's a bit of resistance to it. So, but yeah, so our cable's here. We aim to put it on the roof at the moment, but we'll wait and see when we actually get on board in a couple of weeks, 8 weeks time. 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
This is our cabin, the owner's cabin, and it's coming too. We've got a bed's basically in, all the cupboards are done, it's looking pretty good. The 1370's got a lot more storage than the 1260, so we're going to have a lot more flexibility what we do. It's in different locations, so you have to really we'll have to rethink how we operated for the last 5 years living on board. The same with the hulls. We've got a walk-in robe now, which is great, under bed, and these are so much deeper than what we had before. Oh, that's so much better. I was dreading before.
Oh, so you're taking the space back now?
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Seawind had this as a vanity desk with a mirror. I don't put makeup on. I'm not sitting down here to do my hair. When you're in the tropics, it's too hot. So we've asked for no mirror and some shelves just for extra storage, to put our phones or charging or just anything. We've kept the desk because it's there and it saves changing the structure of it. We had to watch because we don't want to put a cupboard in and block the view. So we just wanted something shallow, still having the access, laying in bed, looking out the window.
So we have option for the Ruby Rose workbenches they were causing at the time. It's not too different to the current setup where they actually don't have the shelves, but it is a very similar setup. So we are one of the last boats to get this. I do not intend to work down here. I can never understand that. It's limited airflow, it's rocky, it's hot. You're not going to be here, you're going to be working up, but Joanne's theory is that I'll have somewhere to put my tools back, so that's all we're using it for. So yeah, our cupboards. So one of the little quirky things that was noted on one of the test sails that went out was the light switch is here, but the door opens to the left. So what was noted was it was a little bit hard to reach the switch behind the door, but obviously we don't want it further down in the way of the cupboards, and this is a structural bulkhead, so any light switch will need to stick out and look like a bit of an eyesore. But we've decided that that's probably the better compromise. The aesthetics for us are less important than its practicality. So we're having our light switch just mounted above the holding tank on the side here. But we're opted for our switch here and our USB charging ports here because we envisage you'd leave your phone on the countertop here, not next to the bed. One of the additions that they have done, which is now standard, is this is a drop-down shelf. Let me jump up and do it.
Yep.
Oh, it's probably taped, but I can't. It is too. So this is a shelf that hinges down and it'll be above you while you're in bed. So you can sit in bed with your cups of coffee or tea, not that we ever do, or your laptop. You could actually watch a movie sitting in bed. So, all right, let's take a sneak little peek in the engine while no one's here. Everything's wrapped in plastic, keeping it new. So you can see we have a protective step over the top of the linkages that come through for the steering. The engine, I believe, still has a fiberglass step to go on top of it here for us to step down into and make life a bit easier. But very easy access. So there's plenty of room in this engine bay, and you've got to bear in mind that it opens from the front as well. So behind the shower and also behind this bedroom it opens, and so you can get airflow through the hull here. So if you're working on the engine in the tropics, like at the moment it's very hot and sweaty here, this is an incredible difference. So for us on our 1260, where it was in confined spaces, it was always hot and sweaty, this will be a breeze to work on. And lots of room all the way around it. There's buckets of room. So there is just so much room down here alongside the engine. You can certainly get into everything on the side, access it, and then obviously I can access the front of this from inside the aft cabin. Very simple and strong steerage linkage. We've got our carbon fibre linking rod between the two. Down to our fiberglass arm here onto the actual rudder, onto the tiller there. So incredibly good setup. So we have our battery behind here with obviously all the circuit breakers, fusible links, and the, not sure what that is actually, it's something to do with the charging in some way. Okay. So one of the biggest discussions on catamarans is the helm position. So we absolutely swear that the Seawind setup is the best setup. There's always an argument for why you haven't got visibility, but I'm sitting here and I'm not at full height. I have full view through my windows, There is a little box around the mast, but honestly, that's about all I have to lean to be able to see forward. Chart plotter at the moment, we've opted to mount flat in here. There is a concern by some of the new owners whether the wheel gets in the way, but I honestly consider this no different to a car. You're looking through the dash the exact same way and you can see it. And if I'm at standing, I've only got to lean. This is really insignificant. Benefit being is that this is flush mounted and reasonably secure. If you go for the mount where it's mounted on the angle in front on the frame that B&G supply, it's 2 wing nuts and you can remove that chart plotter in 5 seconds. And that's a very expensive piece of equipment, a 16-inch chart plotter. So I'm not a fan of that. I think this is better for security. Not all anchorages that you stop in and marinas are safe. We've seen silly things stolen, so we don't want to lose one of the most expensive pieces of electronics off our boat. So yeah, we're looking good. We have opted, we've customized our own drink cup holders rather than the Seawind one which mounts on here. They've been very good to accommodate and put it in for us. We hope that is a better system. So dual electronic controls, we'll be able to helm from both the port and running across. And starboard side. So we have traditionally in 5 years never sat on No Regrets 1 here ever, but we thought this was a bigger boat, a little bit harder to dock, so being able to helm from this side will make life easier to be able to get in. So because we're not aiming to helm from here effectively, we have no electronics on this side. We haven't bothered at all. The only option that we put in was 2 drink cup holders, that's all. So we have one subtle difference that we're doing over the Seawind's standards is we want to retain our Rainman Watermaker. So we're installing it into the front locker at the mast. And I'll just jump down in. Move all the protective covers. So, very large locker. You have steps here or at the middle section over the gas bottles. And we've been measuring several times here with Van and Stefan. And we're pretty sure that the Watermaker will fit on the shelf here with the 2 1170 long membranes at the top here to produce the water. So the product water will be able to go straight into the tank under here, and the skin fitting for the brines just under the shelf under here. So a big locker. All right, trampolines look like they're in, they're done. All tied in. Not game to walk on it over here, that's for sure. And our front locker. Shall we have a look in there? So we've never had this storage space on No Regrets 1. This is a serious sail locker. This is huge. Lots of room. God, that's a big roof. Oh, God. When this rains and that water runs forward to here, it's going to collect a torrent of water. I can't wait to see how good the rainwater collection works. Oh, that rainfall we had a minute ago. After saying it hasn't rained and how good it is, and then it bucketed down. They thanked me for that. So jib track's in. So jib track is all now in. That was sitting on the roof last time we were here, so that's all bolted in and nice and secure. So same as No Regrets 1, we've opted for the Aqualuma lights. I know some people call these a rather offensive name lights for people that have them, but they're fantastic for attracting fish, and for us diving, we can swim up to the boat at night. They're just a great asset. I believe nearly every boat has these options. So we've optioned for the 57 year mast. We have optioned for rope cutters because we are sailing through Indonesia, and obviously fishing nets and line and lots of tangles will be in the way, so should be able to just chop them up as we drive through. So we have also optioned drogue attachment points. We've never needed them in the past. We only remember at anchor when we tried to sea anchor once coming into New Caledonia 5 years ago. But obviously we are potentially doing a bigger trip. If Joanne's on board, we might go the big lap. So we've got the drogue attachment points put on. So they're very securely anchored, both sides of the hull, both port and starboard, and then we'll be able to drag our drogue and also use that as emergency steering by pulling that drogue from side to side. A big sore point I have with catamarans is the requirement to meet CE certifications to have escape hatches. I've read more about catamaran sinking because of the glass falling out than anyone escaping through the hatch. To me, a catamaran takes weeks to sink. You don't need to get out that quick, that's crazy. So Seawind have got around this, which is really great, by putting in I think it's a toughened or laminated or both glass in here, I think it's 10 mil, glued in permanently. Then they have a cover over the top to again protect that to make sure it can't fall out. So they're double redundancy here, glued and sealed. So to break this, there's a brake hammer inside. But of course, it lets the light in, but then it's made it better for me, I guess, because I was going to ask for no escape hatches. But at least we meet CE certification if we wanted to sell the boat in the future. And it's practical, it works, and we're not going to get the leaks that come through and the safety issues. What we went for was lightning protection. I'm not convinced you need it or you don't need it. It probably might increase your risk of strike, but damned if you do and damned if you don't. So we've gone with the lightning protection just in case we ever are hit. We never have been, and hopefully that's enough for us never to be buying something we don't need, and I'll take that any day rather than being hit. It's lunch break. Keep going. We just said we wanted to shoot a little bit of video, and they have just cleaned everything off the boat. They've like we're about to take it out and sail it out the yard. I feel a bit guilty for interrupting their work. Very, very helpful and accommodating. Can't argue with anything else. Man, it's hot. Put the fan back on. Oh, you cannot appreciate the heat until you are here. You might think it feels hot, but it's hot.
Stay, it goes the other way.
Yes.
Does it?
Oh, yeah, you're going the other way now. Yeah.
I'm getting out of here, he's getting in the way.
Yeah, we'll just leave you to it. Bye. Enjoy the seat.